All right, Overwatch people, there's a new quick play hacked event, basically an LTM, a limited time mode in quick play where you can play this new game mode called KINGMAKER, which is down here. The role with a single hero gains a powerful passive. Its description. Let's read the patch notes for you right here. All right, in quick play hacked KINGMAKER, you will crown your team's champion in a new twist from the previous Limit 2 experiment, where the lone player in their role earns bonus powers to dominate the match. Experiment with new compositions while leveraging the KINGMAKER system to give every role a chance to shine, even in unconventional lineups. You want to be strategic in your role picks, as roles are locked at the start of each round, but switching roles mid-match can unlock game-changing potential. TLDR is the KINGMAKER will be its own playable mode outside of role queue and open queue in the unranked menu, which I just showed you. Players will select roles in a first-come, first-served setup with only 2 players per role at maximum. When you queue in, you don't like pick role queue. You don't pick tank or damage or support. You just queue into a pool. It's an insta queue, right? I click this. I click this, boom, in an open queue. Players, once a role is capped at 2 players, it's locked for the remaining team members. You cannot switch roles during the gameplay, but you can switch between rounds for control, for example. Whichever role has the single hero, that hero will receive an extra bonus effect and will be to all players in the match. What does that mean? It will receive an extra bonus effect. And like, yeah, everybody can see that in the match. Okay, this experimental mode runs through to December 8th. So December 4th to December 8th. So for tanks, your health is increased by 150 HP, your movement speed is increased by 15%, and you decrease crowd control effects and incoming headshot damage. So basically, this is just the role queue stuff. If you opt for the tank KINGMAKER, which is a 1 tank, 2 damage, 2 support, it's just basically regular role queue. You have normal HP, because this is open queue settings, so you're like, you know, Queen at 525 goes down to 375, and this just brings you back up to 525. The only buff is, I think, movement speed. I think by default, tank passive and role queue is decrease CC and decrease headshot damage by 25%, so I've heard. So this isn't really much difference besides movement speed to increase like the pacing of the game. And the crown, yes, the crown only shows on the solo role. So if you're the solo damage hero, so if you're running 2 tanks, 1 damage, 2 support in KINGMAKER, your health is increased by a flat 50 HP, all cooldowns decreased by 20%, and attack and reload speed increased by 20% as well. If you're the single support, so 2 tank, 2 damage, and 1 support, your health is increased by 100 HP flat, healing to allies is increased by 30%, and all cooldowns decreased by 20%. The cooldown reduction is pretty strong for certain heroes, but some don't benefit at all, like Zenyatta. What? Harmony Discord Orb? What is that supposed to do? Okay, before I even play one game, I already have some problems with global rule. This has the exact same problem with the pickable passives, where if you have flat HP increase, nothing is relative. Like, there's different base HP pools in the game. Blizzard, please. Percentages. Is it really that hard? Roadhog has 750 HP in role queue. He goes down to 600 in this version of the game if you're not the KINGMAKER. But if you're like a Doomfist or a Junker Queen, you go from 525 to 375. The percentage difference is not the same. Same here. 50 HP on a Tracer from going, if she's the KINGMAKER, from 150 to 200 is way more powerful when you have a lower base health. Mei getting, yeah, like obviously like Mei and Bastion getting extra 50 is nice as well, but it's more meaningful when you have lower base health here. Same here. And then same with supports, like Kiriko was 225 versus Ana at 250. So obviously Juno, Kiri going from 225 to 325 is nice, but like, you know, the other ones go from 250 to 350. Like, it should just be a percentage with the health stuff. And then like the problem with global rules like this is some benefit more than others. Like, there's some heroes that are just terrible in this mode and some that are like way disproportionately better. Like reload speed for Hanzo, okay, yeah. Cooldown reduction for Zenyatta's Harmony Discord Orb, like what is that supposed to do? I was hoping that they would actually iterate and try to do like a legitimate KINGMAKER passive for each and every single hero, but I know that's a lot of work and effort, and I understand that this whole point of the quick play hacks is just to get a receptive feedback on it. If people like the idea of having a KINGMAKER bonus, then they will probably iterate on specific passives for every hero, similar to the Junkenstein arcade event, right? But for now, they're just gauging interest. But I think the problem with gauging interest is that they've already done something like this with pickable passives. People have tasted, you know, the global pickable passives from a couple seasons ago, and then the new one with Junkenstein's arcade where people had had specific ones for the heroes, and I'm sure everybody liked Junkenstein's arcade way more. So now you're going backwards and doing these global basic rule applications, and obviously like people, I mean, right off the rip, I think it's going to be kind of ass. I think the concept is okay, but it definitely needs very, very specific tweaks for each hero if you want to continue doing it. What's your opinion on the team health UI? That's actually the big plus here. So right now when you queue in, obviously my camera is blocking it, but it does tell you what the support crown does if you're the king. For support, if you're the solo damage, it says it here, or you just press this button and you can read it out here. Once again, Kingmaker open queue game mode with limit 2, or maximum 2, minimum 1. A single player will be crowned king and receive the special role passive. It'll be locked after the assemble phase. Exactly what I read before. Here's like the short. They have a little crown on top of the icon. That's pretty cute. 1 tank, 1 support. I kind of want to be the solo role. I'm kind of praying I get it here. Okay, so if you look on the bottom left side, we have party frames. The UI on the bottom left, you can see the crown on a river over there on Junker Queen, which is kind of nice. Oh, and then somebody picked it. Now my Ana is the king because we have Queen and Diva. I want to get, what if I give it to my Genji by swapping to another damage here? Oh no, it's locked now. What, once the role selected, you can't change. This UI though on the bottom left is nice. Please add this to the base game. I like this. Dude, as a support player, I can hear or heal people on the left here and see their HP. That's gotta be fantastic. Okay, so they're running 2 tanks. Who's their king? Their king is their Moira, solo support. Moira is like AoE heal, which is really important for 2 tanks. But if we have, let's say we had a single Zenyatta as our 1 king support. We have King Ana, but we have King Zen. The healing is like extra 30%, but the orb can only heal 1 person. So like it's just disproportionately bad in a mode like this if you run 2 tanks. I don't know, I have problems with this mode. Like, that's why Zen needs a very specific one where, like, the Harmony Orb can split to 2 orbs or something. I don't know. You get 2 Harmony Orbs for Zen if he's the king. That's probably your best, like, passive that you can make for him. If not, you just run into problems like this, where Zen is unclickable if you're the king. You need Juno, you need, like, main supports that have, like, big AoE healing to be the one single out. Look at my Ana's HP, though. She is the king, but... My one Ana's dead. We're so fucked right now. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you need BAP, Juno. Like, we have a single Lucio now. He does get AoE 30% more healing. Aura, okay. A little better, but we're locked in now.
Time for the reckoning.
I probably should put Bob on point to contest them, but Bob can actually see the entire point, so they have to be off the point, I guess. Works for me. Does Bob get the buff? Actually, don't know. I don't know which passive Bob gets. I don't think he gets any of the tank. In roll queue, Bob gets the tank passive. In open queue, I don't think he gets it. Does Bob actually? It's interesting. Does Bob get the Kingmaker buff? If Ashe is the Kingmaker, like, does he acquire the tank passive though? That's a good question. I don't know. Unfortunately, I am not the DPS king as Ashe. We're stuck with our 1 support being it. Oh, oops. What? Oh my god, there's a ledge here. Evidently, I don't play DPS on this map very much, nor do I have it memorized. Do deployables get the buff? That is a good myth that we could test. Oh, big beat. Big beat. Who's their king again? It's also their support, right? So they're also on the same comp, though. No, I lied. We're 1 tank, 2 damage. No, sorry, we are 2 tanks. I take it all back. Their 1 Moira king is 17 kills, though. Oh my god. Look at the healing disproportionate amount of healing, though. 10k on the Moira, 4k on the Lucio. Oh, what the fuck? god, the random damage. This random Moira damage orb is so annoying. Dude, no, I didn't hit the mini. All right, GG's. Yeah, I don't know. This mode is conceptually fine, but you can't do a concept like this without proper passives for everybody at this point, because we've had a taste of it. So like, I don't even think that you're gonna get good, meaningful data. People are gonna have mixed reactions like myself. I don't think it's very good without specific passives at all. I'm still curious to see how it would look like it, but now they have to balance the question whether they want to put more resources into building proper passives or Kingmaker passives for each hero specifically. But this is already gonna give you a mixed reaction. So it's kind of like, it's a toss up, right? I don't know.